I'm going to do a review of the camera that I just got, a quick review. I was planning on doing a review of it anyways, but ever since that thread popped up, I figured I would sort of expedite that and get something up, just in case anybody was looking to make any decisions anytime soon. I figured that this might help, weigh their options. I've been planning on getting a new camera for a while because the camera that I was using for our catch and release tournaments was, to put it kindly, just kind of a piece of junk. The capabilities were pretty limited in it, and it wasn't waterproof, which was a really big one. It's really just kind of a hassle to have to deal with a camera that's not waterproof when you're out on the water. You got to make sure your hands are dry, you got to make sure the fish is set, you got to get it out of whatever waterproof case you might have it in, then take a picture, and it turns into a bunch of time, and it's obviously not good to keep a fish out of water for any longer than it has to be. So I'll show you what I was using before. I was using this little Pentax Optio. As you can tell, it's really tiny. It's old. It's got 3.2 megapixels, 3x optical zoom, and as you can tell, the screen on the back is just extremely tiny. And the battery also drained out on it pretty quickly. If I hit play, you can see I've still got some fish pictures on here. For whatever reason, it looks a little bit blurry. Anyways, I've got fish pictures on here, so whenever you try to review them to get a measurement, you can tell it takes a while between pressing the button and the camera actually doing any action on the screen. So it's really sluggish. It just takes time, and as I said, the screen is very small and it's very limited in what you can see, so it's hard to get a measurement off a fish. It's hard to digitally cull your fish or anything like that. It doesn't do any video, just stills. So I was really looking for something new. I did a little bit of shopping around. I seriously considered the GoPro. And once I go through the features of this new camera that I got, I'll explain why I decided to go with it as opposed to the GoPro. Well, to start off, my background is within telecommunications, audio-video production, stuff like that, so I wanted a camera that allowed me, I'd say the key word is probably control. With the GoPro, it's very minimalistic. You don't have a screen. You have to pay $75 just to have the little screen attachment on it. So it's really difficult to compose a good shot or make sure that your shot's composed well. So I wanted something that had a screen to it. I wanted something that I could take good stills with, good video, and had other capabilities to it as well that the GoPro just doesn't have. And the good part about this camera that I just got, it is $250 after a $50 mail-in rebate. So it's $300, $250 after the rebate. Anyways, here it is. The camera is the Pentax Optio WG-2. There it is. Comes in quite a few different colors, black, red. Some of them have the option of having a GPS. It has the little GPS thing right here. I think it's like an extra $50, but I didn't need that. I have GPS on my phone. It's just one more thing that could run the battery down. So I opted for the version without the GPS, plus it saved me a little bit of money. The GPS versions come in some other colors like orange, I think white maybe, and maybe a blue or something like that. And then the ones without GPS come in the red and the black. I went with the red because if it falls in the water, it's something that can be easily seen. Easier to see at least than black. As you can tell, it's got a nice big old screen on the back. It's got a couple buttons over here, the zoom in, zoom out, the play button. You've got your different toggle switches over here, the OK menu. This button, I'll show you what this one does in a little bit, and then this button, it's kind of a multifunction button, and it's also your delete button when you're reviewing photographs. Up here is the shutter and then the power button, so I'll go ahead and power it up. As you can tell, it flicks on very, very quickly. I'll go ahead and do that again just to show you how fast it fires up. So click, and it's ready to take a picture or video. So let me change the, let's see, mode. So this is the picture mode, pretty cool. This is just the automatic mode. I'll take a picture to show you how fast it reacts to the shutter being pressed. Boom, there's your photo. That's another fault that the old one had, was it took quite a while for it to focus, and then once it was focused, it took a while for it to actually create the image. But this one is very quick. The flash fired on that one, as you can tell. And then this green button down here, as I said, it's kind of a multi-function button. You can actually specify what you want it to do. So I have mine specified to toggle between the picture mode, the automatic picture mode right up here in the top left corner that you can see, and the video mode. So this is, now it's on the video mode, to where if I start to take a picture, now I'm recording video. And this thing can record in 720p, 1080p, you know, quite a few different things. It says data recording because I just recorded that video. So if I go into menu here, recorded pixels. So right now I have it on 720p at 60 frames a second, which is pretty nice. You can do 1080p at 30 frames per second. I'm sorry, there's glare on there. 1080p at 30 frames, 720p at 60 frames, 720p at 30 frames, and then 640 pixels at 30 frames. You know, that's better for if you want to possibly email the video later on or something like that. And then up here in the top right, I don't know if you can see that, it gives you a breakdown of how long it will enable a record time at those settings. So that's pretty nice too. And then if I go to mode, it has all these other picture modes, program, 2 modes for shooting at nighttime, the movie mode. These 2 modes right here in blue, one's an underwater stills mode, and then this other one is an underwater movie mode, so underwater video. What it does is it changes the white balance a little bit for video that's going to be shot underwater. The white balance changes just to offset the color of the water some. This option right here allows for high-speed video. I think it shoots at 120 frames per second, and it does so for, I think it'll allow you 15 seconds for the recording. So it's just something kind of neat to play with. This one is interval movie, so it allows you to do something like a time lapse. Interval shot, which, you know, is sort of like a time lapse, only this one produces individual images, whereas the interval movie, it actually saves those interval images as a movie. So it kind of does all the work for you in terms of putting those stills into a movie format. This is a portrait for taking pictures of people. All these options change the way the camera operates a little bit for what the option is. So like these night scenes, you know, obviously it's for a longer shutter speed, something like that. This portrait mode, as it says, reproduces a healthy and bright skin tone. The flower one, you know, it softens the outline of the flowers, a landscape. Digital microscope, this is like a super powerful macroscope mode, even though they call it microscope. So I'm sure most of you all have heard of macro photography, but this is micro photography. So there's that. Just an example of the microscope mode. It actually has this little attachment here that what it does is it clips right onto the front here, and it has these LEDs on the front. I don't know if you can tell if those are lit up, but it's got 6 LEDs on the front, which is really cool because those LEDs will light up whatever it is that you're trying to take a close-up of. So let me just, here's some of the fine print literature that comes with it. So I'll just take a close-up photograph of that fine print. Okay. So as you can tell, it takes a very high-resolution photograph of that text. You know, I'm zooming in quite a bit. I mean, you can almost see the individual pixels from the printer. I mean, that's really zoomed in. So that's pretty impressive. yeah, there's that. The video that it shoots is really quite impressive. You know, one of the main perks about this, as opposed to the GoPro, is that this records audio quite well. It has an audio input over here. Here, let me take this back off here. It's got a little microphone thing right here. So it captures audio very well. You know, I'm sure all of us have watched GoPro videos where the audio sounds very muffled. And that's because it's in the waterproof housing. But this one has the mic right here that's already waterproofed. So it allows you to, you know, it allows you to take those videos and they actually sound not half bad at all. You can even get sound of the underwater. And, you know, when you're taking a video not underwater, you know, it reproduces all the sounds very, very well, very true to nature. Another good feature of this one is that it's got the little infrared detector right here. You can have a remote for it to start and stop audio or video recording. It's got an actual flash, dedicated flash, which is pretty nice. Because you know, if you're like me, spend a lot of time on the water. Sometimes you're out before sunup, or you know, out after sundown. So this little side right here is for your HDMI, and it's also for your PC cord. You just pull down on that little thing, and then it opens up like that, so you can see the two connectors. It's got a nice rubber piece right here that seals over top of those connections. Down here at the bottom, that's obviously for your tripod mount, and I wish it was in a different spot. I wish it was more centered on the camera. That's pretty much the only thing that I've found that I don't like about it as much. And then this door right here is for your battery and for your card. So you can just pretty much pop that over. That's where the battery goes. That's where the card goes. I don't have a card in there right now. Speaking of, though, I found I originally priced out 32 gigabyte cards. You know, I want to be able to shoot video all day long if I can, if I'm out for that long. But the 32 gigabyte card that I had originally priced was $70, and I did a little bit of shopping around and actually found a deal at Best Buy. It was the exact same card, and they had it on sale for $29.99. So I got two 32 gigabyte cards for the price of what I would have paid for one at the other place. Again, it's got the rubber gasket right here to help seal that area off. Let's see, what else was I going to say about this? I guess one of the only other drawbacks of this compared to the GoPro is that you can't really wear this thing. You know, it'd be nice, like with the GoPro, to be able to wear it on a head, you know, a head attachment, something like that for if you're wade fishing. You can't really wear this like you can a GoPro, but at the same time, for me, you know, that's not as big of a deal. You know, I want something that I can put on a painter's pole, you know, kind of like how Drew Gregory does his stuff. Just something where I can, you know, I can actually have the screen to where I can make sure my shot's well composed, and then start the video. Another cool thing about this that I found out, I didn't know you could do this before I purchased it. I was hoping there was a way, but I had been told there wasn't a way to do this, which kind of bummed me out. But really the two biggest limitations you have when you're shooting video are space, like memory, which I think I should be fine with 32 gig, you know, 2 sticks of 32 gigs, and battery life. You know, I'll probably buy a couple batteries, but the thing that I found out is that if I'm in movie mode, and I'm going to go ahead and start recording a movie here, I can actually press this OK button. What it does is it changes the display settings. So you see some stuff pop up, some stuff disappear, and then if I press it one more time, it actually turns the screen off while I'm shooting a video. So what that means is that I can pretty much set this up, you know, on the back of my boat, start shooting video, and I can turn the screen off because it's not like I need it when it's sitting behind me. So what this means is that I can actually take a video and I can have the screen off, which is the biggest drain on your battery in this entire camera, is the screen. So let me turn that back on. So yeah, that's pretty much my review. I'm about out of time. I think I can only upload 15 minutes onto my YouTube, so I'm pretty much done with my 15 minutes, but I'll try to add more, and I'll try to do an official review that I'll post on Yak Angler. See you guys.